We would like to remind you at this time to please turn off your cellular phones. And be sure that you are not blocking anyone behind you so that they can see our show too. We would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Our musical this evening is about America's music. It is about jazz music. When the writer F. Scott Fitzgerald declared the arrival of the jazz age in the 1920s, he meant the word jazz to describe an attitude. You didn't have to know the music to understand the feeling, because it was about the changing mood of the 1920s. The most destructive war in history had ended. The automobile, the phonograph record, the network radio were transforming notions of distance, leisure, community, and freedom. 3 years before the decade began, a group of enthusiastic musicians unexpectedly sold out Reisenweber's Weber's fashionable restaurant in New York City and cut the first raucous, uneven, but spirited jazz record, Livery Stable Blues, an original Dixieland one-step. It was the music the band had heard and adapted from the music halls and red light district of New Orleans. The sound was so strange at first that the customers had to be told that they could dance to it. 2 weeks later, they couldn't be stopped. The record sold 1 million copies, and the original Dixieland Jazz Band, although they didn't invent it, put the word jazz into the vocabularies of street corners and royal palaces via Harlem rent parties and rich folks' parlors. The message hummed around the world. Well, what is it? It's spirituals, ragtime and blues. It's swing, bebop, hard bop, bebop, and scat. It's cool jazz, new jazz, fusion, minstrel, and free. Yes, more than anything, it's free. Jazz is America's music. It started in New Orleans, mixing Western harmonies with the rhythms of Africa. It moved up the Mississippi on the riverboats of the early 1900s to cities like Kansas City and Chicago. It spread like wildfire from the rivers and fields to the big cities like New York in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, to the West Coast shortly thereafter, and eventually all over the world. It is the only music born here in the United States. We has it and everybody wants it. We has jazz.
Do a little bebop, let's get together. think you better laugh. The headphones fall over. You're starting to imagine things.
That's right. Thelonious must have been dead since 1982, and those others are ancient history. Besides, jazz music is for old people. Let's go hear some real stuff.
Forget that, Thelonious. They don't know what they're saying.
Rick really likes jazz.
Like is not a word that should be used in the same sentence as jazz. Like is for Big Mac. Like is for the summers of the beach. Like is for the way I feel about Amy Simpleton.
Ooh, Amy Simpleton.
That's right. Like for basking, like for beach, like for him. But you know, those things I like jazz. But you know those things I like. Jazz I love.
Well, thank you, Charlie Parker.
Somebody call for Charlie Parker. Charlie Parker? I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Who's Charlie Parker? Charlie Parker? What do you mean who's Charlie Parker? He's only the greatest jazz saxophone player that ever stopped on a reed. Oh, that's Charlie Parker. You can just call me Bird. That's what all my friends call me.
Bird?
Never mind. Speaking of friends, here comes the rest of the gang. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hello. Hey, how are the grocery brothers doing today? Just fine, Charlie. And you? Couldn't be better, but I really anxious to get some jam sessions heard. Where's Thelonious? Can we see Thelonious? Thelonious? Well, he'll be here later. When, Tommy? Around midnight, I suppose. Are you really going to have a jam session right here like you did in the old days? Sure thing, kid. We do this every Saturday night, as long as no one has another gig day today. Oh, Mr. Cooper, you know us well aside. I want to see man to really jazz festival. Do you really have any other commitments? Excuse me, Rick, but aren't all these jazz musicians, passed on? Oh, honey, jazz musicians never die. They just go to big old house in the sky. You're mad, lady? That's fantastic.
It's a wonderful world, kid.
You said it, Louis. Now come on, everybody. Are we gonna jam or just stand here all around all night? Or and talk? Let's jam! Everybody
Yeah, wait till you hear that lady sing the blues.
I like it too. I like it too. But I think it's kind of here for
Le clásico trompetista.
Britney Spears, I might do it. That is pretty good, Mama. I can see what it's like. But you don't know that kind of music has a treat. The music we all play, American jazz. Listen to him. He's a count, you know.
Excuse me, Count Dracula?
That's bass. Count bass.
Yeah, whatever. I guess I don't really know what jazz is.
That makes two of us, Manuela. And I certainly don't know why everybody's so excited about it.
So, Count Busy, what's jazz?
What's jazz?
Might as well ask what's ragtime.
You might as well ask us bebop.
Well,
What?
what is ragtime, bebop, and swing?
Kids! Kids, let us tell you this so that you'll never forget. Jazz is the only kind of music born in America, destined to be experienced throughout the world.
I heard even know that Presley was greatly influenced by American jazz music.
Who? Must be some young upstart.
Jazz is one of our greatest treasures.
Oh, honey, jazz musicians never die. They just go to the big old concert in the sky. It all began way back in the days of slavery when the rhythmic music of West Africa mixed in with the new road to make a whole new sound.
Okay.
Bodies bent down to the ground. Swing that hammer, 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 swing that hammer. Lord, to these chains are bound. Swing that hammer, swing that hammer, swing that hammer. Swing that hammer, swing that hammer, swing that hammer. Lord, give us all in the morning, in the evening, driving still till the sun goes down. Bodies weary, bodies aching, bodies bent down to the ground. Bodies bent down to the ground. Bodies bent down to the ground. Work. Wow, so that's jazz.
Oh, I see. So jazz is the type of music that Slade sang as they were working in the fields.
Well, kids, that's where jazz began, but it sure didn't stop there.
You mean there's more?
A lot more. But it's not always a happy history. Remember the lives of a slave in America was not an easy one.
It was lonely, frightening, exhausting, and well, blue.
Well, Amber, I lost my man, my truck broke down, and my dog ran away. Oh, that's bad. And that was just this morning. Are you feeling like you bumped into your own man? No, but I'm sure I'm feeling poorly. Me too. My life's as bad as wearing a necktie in July. Ooh, that's bad.
I'm sad, girls. I'm feeling real sad.
We know you are, Miss Billy, but you'll have a holiday real soon. Yeah, Miss Billy, I'm feeling real melancholy too, Miss Billy. Real melancholy.
Well, girls, when I feel this bad, there's only one thing I know to do.
What's that, Miss Billy? Wallow in it? Tell everybody how miserable you're feeling and try to make them feel bad too?
Want to throw a tantrum so you get your way, Miss Billy?
That's what we do!
No, girls. When I'm feeling poorly, there's only one thing I can think of to do.
girls, I sing the blues. Oh.
¿Cómo hacer otro? ¿Qué?
That sounds like a good idea, but I still find the one in intentions work pretty well for me. Miss Willie, can you teach us how to sing the blues? Yeah, Miss Willie, teach us to sing the blues. Oh no, girls, you're all way too young to sing the blues. Too young! That's right. In order to sing the true blues, a person has to have felt some real pain in their lives. In order to sing the blues, a person has to have suffered. Oh, I've suffered, Miss Billy. I've suffered real bad. Yeah, no one's known the trouble I've been through. Yeah, Miss Billy, you wouldn't believe I get myself into. I got problems, Miss Billy. Big problems. Tell me about it, girls.
What's the name of bad luck those folks have had?
I want the glorious! I want the glorious! I'm not sure how much of this jazz music I can take! It's not all that, guys. Tell us, John.
My pleasure, Count Baby. I'll take a sting out of this music. You see, kiddos.
Kiddos!
The blues were around before anybody ever thought the word jazz. In fact, there were recorded from the famous author F. Scott Fitzgerald using to describe the 1920s. Now, who was it?
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
And what year was it?
1920.
I said, what year was it?
1920.
Now, pay attention out there. There may be a quiz.
Wow, he's very enthusiastic.
See you later.
And lady, you...
Ferdinand Norton, of course. You can call me Jelly Roll.
Jelly roll!
Never mind. Anyway, a lot of people, mostly myself, claim that I actually invented jazz music. And it was all in New Orleans, the jazziest town on earth.
But it wasn't long. But it wasn't long before jazz made its way up the Mississippi River and through the cold and dirt and grime to Chi-Town.
Chi-Town?
Chicago, baby. Chicago, Illinois.
And who are you?
Louis Armstrong, but you could call me
Satchel.
Never mind. You see, Chicago held a promise for a better life for us Southerners. Like King Oliver, me, myself, and the Dixieland jazz band.
Joe King Oliver.
Somebody call for me?
What's the King stand for? King of what?
King of Jazz, King of Chicago, King of Creole, King of Hot Air. Get on the boats, kids. We'll ride that big old river and sing our way to a brand new life.
What river?
What river? What river? The river, the big muddy river. Now give me an M.
M.
Give me an I.
I.
Give me an S.
S.
Give me an S.
S.
Give me a lot of I's and S's and P's and stuff. Yeah, let's go!
But you must name it's got mighty fine ring, but I don't mean a thing if I ain't got that swing.
Take
in the entire jazz era. She practically made Dizzy Gillespie famous for the time she wrote for him. That's right, ladies. That man was nothing but puffed up cheeks before I got a hold of him. Oh, I didn't. Do you think anybody could ever be successful with a pucker lips like that? And everything else trying to sing it straight up. You gotta be kidding me.
Ladies, please. We have got to remain dignified. Of course, women played a very important role in the development of jazz music, and of course the men will always take all of the credit. But we know the truth, and therefore we must always remain sophisticated. Is he here? Is he here? Where is he? Where is he? Where?
Calm down, Rick. Take it easy.
But is he here yet?
Mr. Monk, as in Thelonious?
Mr. Monk, I heard he was on his way here.
Mr. Monk, as in Thelonious?
Yes, of course, Thelonious.
Who is this Thelonious character anyway? And what were you thinking of anyway?
Who is he? Who is he? He's only the most innovative jazz pianist of this century. Only the hero of the bebop generation. Only the...
Yeah, all right already. All I hope is that he has a good sense of humor and a name like Thelonious.
Let out this is all about. Where do you think Jazz ought to go?
Might as well hear what he's got to say.
Well, get ready, everybody, because here he comes. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
We're not to be bought. There is no question. You see, ladies and gentlemen, jazz is our music, the music of America. From the blue-lit streets of New Orleans up the river of St. Louis. From the gangster clubs of Chicago to the bright lights of Harlem, we made it and it made us. We didn't always have our freedom, but jazz is freedom. Just think about that. We didn't always have enough money, shelter, even food to eat. But since the first hired worker struck up a song accompanied only by his pitchfork and the beat of his heart, we has it. We has it, folks. We has jazz.